We are learning new details in a tragedy out of Ellis County. 3 children are dead, 2 others are hurt, and 1 woman is in jail.
This is a story about 2 twin sisters, Shamaiya Hall and Troyshaye Hall. Shamaiya Hall killed 3 of her children, and 2 more of her children are in critical condition in the hospital. She stabbed them. Troyshaye Hall killed her 7-year-old daughter about a year and a half ago. I consider this bad blood running through the vein. Some people don't need to have children, especially if you have a mental problem. You don't need to be having children. And some of you men out there who just go out and decide to shoot up the club because you can, you don't have any protection on to protect yourself, and you create all these babies with these women that have mental problems, and this is not good. This is sad. Why can't y'all just find you a wife or find you a husband to have your children with? She's 25 years old with 5 children. That is ridiculous. Shame on her and shame on all the men who impregnated her. Shame on you. Do better with your life. Now these poor little innocent children are gone and in the hospital fighting for their life because of 2 crazy heifers, and obviously some inconsiderate, not caring men chose to lay down, have sex unprotected, and this is the end result. So her 5 children were in the custody of a family member. Where are the children's father? That's my point. Why aren't you in their life? Why weren't your children with you? You the one who shot the club up. Do better. Here goes the rest of the story. This is sad, and it makes no damn sense whatsoever. Do better with your damn life. Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're gonna get it anyway. You are straddled the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're gonna tell you to do better. Please like, dislike, subscribe, and share the videos. Now let's go.
We are learning new details in a tragedy out of Ellis County. 3 children are dead, 2 others are hurt, and 1 woman is in jail. Law enforcement discovered the horrific scene at an Italy home. They are sharing more on what happened leading up to that discovery. Here's Lily Zhang.
Shamaiya Hall remains at the detention center here in Ellis County, charged with 3 counts of capital murder. She is the woman accused of killing those 3 children. Family members and neighbors tell us she is the mother of those children.
And I love them, and I know God will never make no mistake.
That is a family member who spoke with us Friday night, hours after the children were found at a home along Harris Street in Italy. The Ellis County Sheriff's Office says Texas Child Protective Services came to that home Friday. During that visit, the CPS investigator made a decision to remove the children. A call to 911 was made around 4 o'clock. When police arrived, they found 3 children dead, a 6-year-old boy and 5-year-old twins. 2 other children, a 4-year-old boy and 13-month-old girl, were seriously hurt. Both were rushed to the hospital. Late Friday night, Italy ISD released a statement describing an overwhelming grief felt by the district and the community. Counseling services were offered Saturday at Stafford Elementary, near the home where the children were found. Counseling is also available at the Central Baptist Church's main campus on Monday, beginning at 10 o'clock. Back here at the Sheriff's Office, we are told they are the lead investigators in this case. Texas Rangers are assisting. Reporting in Ellis County, Lily Zhang, NBC5.
25-year-old Shamaiya Hall and she's in custody this morning, facing capital murder charges. Hall was booked in jail around 11 last night. Police say 2 of her other children were rushed to a hospital with stab wounds. Now, this all happened in the town of Italy that's located off I-35, about 40 miles south of Dallas. As of now, we don't know what led up to this tragedy, but sources tell us Hall stabbed her children when a CPS worker arrived at the family home unannounced to check on everyone. We're told that CPS workers suspected Hall was having unsupervised visitation. The kids were living there under the supervision of another relative. Police tell us the worker called 911. All 3 of the children were elementary school aged. 2 more were taken to the hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries right now. Now, as you can imagine, our crews on the scene tell us everyone there is very upset and they were shocked. A relative who babysat the kids spoke with us. She says she remembers holding the children as if it were yesterday.
And I just want everybody to know them are some beautiful angels. And I love him, and I know God never make no mistake. And I just want to say, they gained their wings. And this is something that hurts so bad.
CPS sent us this statement saying, "We are shocked by this incomprehensible tragedy and already working with law enforcement to investigate how this happened and why." We've also learned this morning Shamaiya Hall has been arrested before. Sources tell WFAA senior crime reporter Rebecca Lopez she was arrested back in 2017 for stabbing her sister's boyfriend. Her twin sister was also arrested in 2021 and charged with stabbing her 7-year-old daughter to death. And new overnight, we are hearing for the first time from the Children's School District. The superintendent there says we are a tight-knit small community, and as such, many students will be impacted by this incident. She also says the district will have counselors available this morning at Stafford Elementary and all next week. This is a lot to take in and a major story you can imagine we will be following for several days.
We give you glory, oh God.
Layla Morrison came to pray outside her family's home. She says her family is grieving after 5 of her little cousins were stabbed.
I'm hurting. This has hurt me because when you hear of something like this happening, yes, it does. It grieves your heart.
Authorities say the tragedy unfolded at 4 p.m. Friday afternoon when a CPS worker came to this house in Italy to check on the 5 children who were staying with their grandmother. But when the CPS worker arrived, the mother, Shamaiya Hall, answered the door. Sources say she was not supposed to be there unsupervised with her kids. The caseworker called 911. This is what dispatchers relayed to first responders.
She is there for removal of the kids. The last time she was at this address, the mother was aggressive, and she is being combative today.
The Ellis County Sheriff's Department says police arrived 5 minutes later to a horrifying scene.
I got kids with multiple stab wounds, back bedroom.
Authorities say a 6-year-old boy and 2 5-year-old twins were dead. A 4-year-old boy and a 13-month-old girl were seriously injured, all of them siblings.
I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know why it happened. We can't change it, but what we can do is pray for the family.
There is a family history with CPS and police. Shamaiya Hall has been arrested before in Dallas County. Court records show that in 2017, Hall and her twin sister, Troyshaye Hall, were arrested for aggravated assault against Troyshaye's boyfriend. According to court documents, the sisters went to his apartment. When he saw them, he immediately tried to slam the door shut, but they grabbed his shirt and sprayed him with pepper spray. The records go on to say Troyshaye pulled a knife out of her bra while Shamaiya told her to run up on him and attack him. In another tragic twist to this story, Shamaiya's twin sister, Troyshaye Hall, is also accused of stabbing her little girl to death at a house in Dallas in 2021. According to court records, the mother says Troyshaye's little girl was lying on the living room floor, bloody with multiple stab wounds. She was standing over the body, quiet and not saying anything. Troyshaye was charged with capital murder, but was found incompetent to stand trial and is now in a mental health facility. Meanwhile, Shamaiya Hall sits in the Ellis County Jail with $6 million worth of bonds, charged with 3 counts of capital murder. Family members say they couldn't comment on the history or the events that led up to 5 little kids being attacked, allegedly by their own mother. In Italy, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
Dallas police say 23-year-old Troyshaye Hall killed her daughter and injured a 16-year-old family friend. Fox 4's Lynn Ann Wynn spoke to a witness and joins us live from Dallas Police Headquarters. Lynn Ann.
It's still unclear what caused the seemingly unprovoked attack. We're told the 16-year-old will survive his injuries, but the 7-year-old girl was pronounced dead at the hospital.
He was stabbed really bad. I had to go in here and go get shirts and towels for him.
Frank Turner describes a horrific and chaotic scene at a South Dallas home Thursday afternoon as neighbors tried to save 2 stabbing victims, a 7-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy. According to an arrest affidavit, Troyshaye Hall stabbed her brother's 16-year-old friend in the bathroom in the shoulder and his lower back.
Everybody had to get rushed off in cars. They put the little brother, best friend on the back of the truck.
The affidavit says the suspect's mother and brother struggled with her in an attempt to take the knife away. In the process, the suspect's mother suffered cuts to her hand. Turner says an off-duty Dallas County Sheriff's deputy who lives next door to the family stepped in and detained the suspect.
All I could see was her coming outside with blood on her hands. And he told her to get on the ground, put her hands behind her back.
According to the affidavit, 7-year-old Madison Petrie was stabbed more than 30 times. Police say the off-duty deputy drove the girl to the nearest fire station.
He took it up on himself to cover her up and put her in the car because we had to get her to somewhere. He was trying to save her life.
But despite the best efforts, the little girl did not survive.
Well, she was a smart little kid. I got to meet her. She speaks to me every day. Every time she sees me, hey, how you doing?
It's unclear what prompted the attack. According to police, Hall confessed to officers after her arrest, but also said her daughter was being sexually assaulted. Police have not indicated there is anything to support that claim, and police say Hall later declined to make any further comments.
It's just shocking because, I know they say the devil is alive. I think he is.
And neighbors we spoke to say that Hall had just come home from a psychiatric facility, but Dallas police would not confirm that, saying they typically do not comment on the mental health status of